Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me get that straightened out a bit. Alrighty. Alright, guys. So, I had to start it over and I had to take away the chat option because I don't want trolls coming in here messing up the vibe of this video. This video is me bringing attention to a very serious situation, a very serious um, situation that I didn't even know was going on, right? Okay. So let me go ahead and tap in and let you guys know where I stand on this because I just found out about it and it's a year later, right? I don't watch the news. After the whole coronavirus thing and everything that we went through, it got to be so toxic watching the news that I just stopped. And yeah, a lot of times people call me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Because I don't know what's going on. Right. So, and the fires in California, that happens every year. I lived in California for almost 10 years, and every year we were almost evacuated for something. But this situation was brought to my attention by my niece. She called me up yesterday and asked me if I heard about it, and I said no. The strangest thing is I'm from Detroit, so go figure. And anyway, she told me about the situation. I did a little bit of investigating myself, and I saw that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and there's just no real talk about the situation, right? So I wanted to bring light to the situation. For anyone that isn't aware, I wanted to bring light to the Naziah Harris situation. It's a 13-year-old girl that came up missing. She disappeared last year around January 9th, and no one has seen her since. Um, there's speculation of an accused guy named Jarvis that apparently was dating the aunt, and he's a known pedophile, apparently, allegedly. Um, but he's the one that they're accusing of her possible murder because they don't even know if she's dead. They haven't found her body. They haven't know if she has been unalived or if she's still alive and maybe someone has moved her around, like trafficked her or something. Who knows? They're thinking that he possibly unalived her because he may have gotten her pregnant. Right? So these are the questions that I have that my niece really was passionate about, and I rephrased them to fit myself. Is Naziah still alive? Will Naziah's physical body be found? Because as of yet, it hasn't been. And the family deserves closure, you know? Did the accused Jarvis cause Naziah's disappearance or possible unaliving? Is Naziah's Aunt Shannon involved in any way? Was the aunt aware of what Jarvis was allegedly doing to Naziah? Because apparently he was possibly molesting her for 2 years before she came up missing. Is the grandmother involved in any way? Because it took her a whole day to call the police and involve them. She didn't come home from school and she didn't call till the next day. So people were wondering about that. And it's a valid question. Why did you wait? Was Naziah pregnant when she disappeared? Because apparently the accused Jarvis was looking up ways to do a at-home abortion. If she was pregnant, who was the father? Was it Jarvis? If Naziah was pregnant, was the aunt aware of this? These are the questions, right? So we have questions that we want to ask. We have, information that we want to know, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a card reading basically to try to tap in and see if we can get some answers, right? But my main purpose in doing this, guys, is to bring awareness to this young lady's disappearance. I mean, a whole year later, And I'm just now finding out about it. So, and I don't watch the news, yes. However, no one has brought this to my attention until now. So that means that it hasn't been talked about a lot, and it should be. These things should be talked about when these young children go missing, girls, boys, when children go missing, we need to know about it so we can band together as adults and try to find them. If possible, try to find them immediately, because the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, I'm sorry, when someone disappears. Period. But when a child disappears, especially a young girl of the age of 13, when we've got so much trafficking going on right now, a lot of times when these girls aren't found, the reason why is because they found a way to get rid of them, without taking them out, but getting rid of them so they don't have to deal with them anymore, right? Now they're over in another country somewhere dealing with God knows what. So what we're going to do is tap into the energy and see what spirit might be able to help us with, because somebody knows something. There are people that are right there close to this situation that should be able to give more in-depth answers, right? Something should have been done more than it shouldn't have taken a year for something to have been done in this situation. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't have taken so long for someone to have been arrested in this situation, right? There should be a whole lot more spilling of the tea, so to speak, right? A lot of people should be telling what's going on, but the people that should know what's going on are not speaking on what's going on. So let me get this out of the way, the disclaimers. This is for adults only. No children on this one. 21 and up, preferably. 18 and up is fine, but 21 and up, preferably. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. There's not going to be any commenting on this video. I may open it up once I finish the live, but while I'm on the live, I don't want to deal with any trolls. Okay? None of that today. So for my own sanity and for the sanity of the purpose of this video, I want to keep it clean and keep it classy, right? So please like, share, subscribe, okay? But I am going to get into it. This is just coffee here for anyone that's wondering. Before I got started, I did pray. I prayed on this last night. When I talked to my niece about it, I prayed on it. I prayed on the questions that I was going to ask. And I just prayed on the situation itself, because it's such a sad situation that a person is missing, a young girl, and no one knows. Well, someone knows, but no one's telling what happened. And I remember when I was that age, I remember my mom would tell me, and this is the reason why we were so close, and she didn't have a problem with me letting her know where I was, because it was this type of situation that she was afraid of happening, By the time I was 13, we had moved from Detroit to Flint, Michigan. And my mom was, always worried, that someone might snatch her daughter. I'm her only daughter. So she told me, always let me know where you are. Always let me know where you are, who you're with. Give me as much information as possible. That way, if something, God forbid, if something happens to you, I can tell them who you were with, who all was there, give phone numbers, names, addresses. I can give them information, give them a head start to find my baby if something happens, And I held on to that, and I always did. I always let her know where I was at all times. And we had that thing where we made sure I had communication. Back in my day, it was pagers. We didn't have cell phones. We had, pay phones. So we, I always had change for pay phones, just in case the person I was with didn't have a phone. I could always run to a corner store and get to a pay phone, right? But moral of the story is, for anyone that is underage that's watching, that should not be, make sure your parents always know where you are. But parents, make sure you have that understanding with your young kids, with your teenagers, especially before they hit puberty. You know, because I know once they hit puberty, they turn into a mindless drone. You know, but communication, you know, keep those lines of communication open with your kids, because if they understand the why, you'll have a better chance of them actually doing what you need them to do to keep them safe. You know, keep them alive long enough to become an adult. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is about, guys. We're going to tap into some energy and see what we can possibly unveil. Um, and just bring awareness to Naziah Harris's case, you know, because God forbid it happens to any of your kids, right? To disappear. Nobody wants that call. You know, nobody wants to realize it's time for my baby. My baby should have been home a long time ago and they're not here. Now I got to figure out where they are. Nobody wants that call. Nobody wants to get the call that something happened to their kid, and nobody wants to figure out that, oh my God, my baby's not coming home. Where are they? You know? So let's tap into the energy and see what we can do, you know, see if we can, help in any way. All right, because when I'm betting, I don't think that a year later they're going to find this beautiful young angel still living. The only way she's still living is if they have shipped her off somewhere else. From the evidence that they have thus far, it seems very unlikely. My thing is, if she has been unalived, if she's no longer with us, tell the family where her body is, you know? Don't leave them in the dark like that. Because you're not going to get away with it, you know? But then you got to think also, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Because, there's some dark, twisted things going on out here. There's some dark, twisted people going on out here that we're just unaware of, and they're in some high-ranking places. And they like to do some dark, twisted things. These movies like Hostel didn't come out of nowhere. And that's the reason why we don't always find our loved ones when they come up missing, because there's some dark, twisted people out there that like to do dark, twisted things, and once they're done, they get rid of what they're, the people that they've done it to. So let's hope it's not that situation, but organized religion, 7 of Wands, stand firm in your beliefs and strength. This organized religion does stand out to me. I don't like it. You know what that tells me, this organized religion? It tells me that, and I'm not saying that somebody's religious group is involved in young girl's disappearance, but what I am going to say is, a lot of times people go and they confess to a priest. Now, the priest is supposed to go to police when that happens, right? They don't always do that. Sometimes they use the cover of the religion to save the person that committed the crime, and it's like it's just like a therapist. Yes, those situations are privileged. However, when it harms someone, when you know someone has been harmed or will be harmed, it's your duty. It is your duty to report the person that told you that they're gonna harm someone. Period. I don't care about the privileges. Okay? Save a life. So what are we saving? We're gonna dismiss this innocent life to save the person that's gonna go and take a life, or maybe have been taking lives for a while and have more that they're going to take. Like, seriously, who are we protecting out here? Corrupt cop. Because if she's not with us anymore, somebody may have helped him. He may have had some help. Because a whole year later, and this Seven of Wands, it won't. I've been shuffling this deck for a while and I've covered that card. It keeps coming back. Stand firm in your beliefs and strengths. Minor Arcana. Let me look up a deeper meaning of Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, defense, protection, improvisation, self-preservation. Ooh. Okay, so the Seven of Wands can represent many attacks you encounter or must deal with daily. The pressing deadlines, personal struggles, responsibilities, and other more unexpected situations. You may be caught off guard and feeling defensive. It can also be a time to regroup, reorganize your approach to something, or a symbol of support from others so you won't have to battle on alone. Be aware that this feeling of being under siege will pass. Remember, you have higher ground, literally and figuratively. This card can also be a reminder you will not win everyone over to your point of view. Okay, so, and that's why this keeps coming out. And the defense, protection, improvisation, self-preservation. Yeah. I don't think the young lady is still with us. I mean, I prayed on this. Wait, what was that? I am open to receive. Yeah, I am open to receive all of the live and learn. I am open to receive, live, and learn all of the information. I prayed on this yesterday, and I prayed on it again this morning. I sat and I meditated, and I've been thinking about it all day. And I was going back and forth on whether or not I should do this reading, but I kept getting, synchronicities and basically a whole bunch of messages from God telling me, yeah, you need to do this. It was brought to your attention by me. I sent these to you. Yeah, I sent her. I need you to do this. I need you to bring attention to this young girl. I am open to receive. This is not the first time that card came up. I just looked at it and it came out before I shuffled the last time. This is my deck, by the way. The big oracle. I created this when I first started doing readings because everybody can't afford the expensive deck, so I made my own. Ten of Swords. An end brings a powerful new beginning. Yeah. I hate to say it, but everything in me from the messages that I've been getting on this is telling me that no, she's not with us anymore. And it has everything to do with her being healthy. Look, it says you are healthy. She was carrying a healthy baby. And the stuff that he was trying to do to unalive the baby wasn't working. It was a healthy baby because she was a young girl with very healthy reproductive system, right? So what I'm getting is that with that very healthy baby inside of her, and he couldn't, all his little parlor tricks wasn't working, he did the next thing that he could do to make sure he got rid of that child, which was take out his mother, the mother. And organized religion is coming out again, which makes me wonder, did he go to someone and talk to somebody in the church about it? You know? Like, what is that about? What happened there? Sorry, not sorry. He's not even sorry about what he did. He's sorry he got caught. And now all he's trying to do is make sure you guys don't figure out where that girl's body is. Because once the evidence is there, once her body is found, there will be no mistaking exactly what happened. There will be no mistaking. There will be no hiding it. Native. Native. Hmm. Hmm. I'm sorry, not sorry. That it makes me feel like they maybe found some native land. Maybe that's where her body is, on some native land, because like on what is it that I've been watching? We were binge watching Yellowstone. And the natives were like, well, the reservation is where a lot of things and people go and never are found. You are exactly where you need to be. So, that being said, and I just said maybe she's on native land. Maybe he drove to the nearest native land to Detroit. Maybe figured out where some native land was and took her there and unalived her and buried her there, because nobody's going to look for her there. Eight of Wands, shift, progress, and movement are swift progress and movement are ahead. So I think what's going to happen is, and you are exactly where you need to be, came up again. I think what's going to happen is they're going to make an example out of this Jarvis guy. He's going to get time. He's going to get time for unaliving her. But my thing is, can they get him to tell the family where her body is? And that's what we need to know. What we need to know is who in the family may have been involved. I mean, and if they were they involved because he scared them? Or were they involved because they just were keeping it hush hush? Because sometimes, like back in the day, they would say what happens in this house stays in this house type of situation. So I don't know if it was that type of situation where they knew, because sometimes people know when the children are being touched and they don't do anything about it. They just let it continue on. And this could have been a situation like that. And when she came up missing, nobody asked any questions because they knew something was going on already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if it's that, if the family knew, you know. Hopefully they didn't. God, hopefully they did not. But it's very questionable, and it's a very good question to ask, because why did you wait until the next day to involve law enforcement when this child was missing? You knew she wasn't. You know, at 13 years old, it doesn't really matter what the child is into at 13 years old. If they don't come home by a certain time, and that day, you call the police, okay? They're a minor. They're supposed to be here at home, right? You don't wait till the next day. Do you know how much time you gave the person that had her? You gave them plenty of time to do whatever they wanted to do. Ship her wherever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit with damn near a whole 24 hours. You gave them a head start, right? Why would you do that? My mom wouldn't do that. My mom would have been calling her. She's supposed to have been here an hour ago. They would have been like, hey, you got to wait a certain amount of time. And she would have been sitting there like, okay, time. I need you to find my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, on it. When you're not involved, you're trying to help. You're not trying to wait as long as possible to figure out what's going on. You know? Like, it's... I know people always say common sense, but common sense is not always so common, I'm starting to figure out. So, I don't know, guys. I'm passionate about this. One, because I'm from Detroit, you know? And as an adult, I realized how many times I put myself in compromising situations, right? When I was a kid, I was going to a school that, of course, my elementary school was right across the street from me. But the school that I was going to at the time was no longer that elementary school. I was in middle school, and it was not close. I was supposed to catch the city bus to school, but I didn't catch the bus. I would walk to school, and on the way home, and I would walk home, and on the way home, I would stop at Dairy Queen and get this big thing of fries, French fries, that was like this big and that tall. It was just like huge for like $1 or $2. It was my bus fare, basically. But I would spend my bus fare on Dairy Queen on the way home instead of catching the bus to and from school. I could have been snatched. I could have been, you know, attacked. Anything could have happened to me, but I was thinking about food and having warm hands on the way home from school, you know? I wasn't thinking about what could happen to me, you know? So, who's to say what type of situation she may have put herself in unknowingly? What type of person she may have been around unknowingly that had some dark thoughts, you know? Because I was around some people that had dark thoughts too. There were some weird situations that I was in when I was young that as an adult I think back like, that's why the adults didn't want us around that guy or that girl, or, you know, like you start to understand why the parents didn't want the kids around certain people in the neighborhood because they were pedophiles, you know? And they knew it. So they didn't have that registry back in the day. They just had parents that talked, you know? It was called neighborhood watch, but it was more like neighborhood gossip. Do you know, did you hear about what happened to so-and-so? Did you hear what he did in that last neighborhood he was in? Yeah, watch your kids. Keep your kids away from so-and-so, you know? So it seems like we need more of that nowadays. Because it seems like a lot of things are like slipping through the cracks and people are just not talking, and they need to be talking. People need to stop with that, we ain't snitching. It's not snitching. It's you telling what's going on. So you it's better for you to keep the criminal safe than protect the victim? What are we doing? Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. The Hierophant, seek knowledge and grow through experience. So, the experience that I'm seeing that needs to happen here, that we need to grow from as a community, is to always look out for kids. Like if you see a child in a situation that doesn't look right, say something. You know these reels that you see of kids, and they're like a setup situation where everybody is acting, but someone is coming for your light. Be careful. See, and this is the type of situations that I'm talking about, right? Where they set up these situations just to see what people will do in the situation. And the situation is usually someone trying to snatch a kid or trying to coax a kid into going with them, telling them they have candy or puppies or whatever, you know? And a lot of times people are like ready to fight to protect this child, right? Sometimes they sit there for longer than they should, just peeping the scene, but for the most part, they almost always step in, right? I feel like we need more of that. I feel like we need a whole lot more of that. God knows your address, your blessing is coming. Organized religion is coming out again, right? So I hope that the blessing that's coming is that we find out what truly, really happened to this young girl, and that she gets what she deserves and gets the burial that she deserves. You know, get to rest in peace, literally, because this situation is ugly. There's no way on earth nobody knows what happened to this girl. Somebody knows what happened to this girl. You know, they know. They might be afraid to talk, but if the guy that they have in custody actually did it, then you got the monster. There's no point in being afraid of him. Talk about it. Make sure he stays where he is. I really feel like the community needs to get together, and really take care of each other. Three of Cups, friendship and celebration uplift you. You know, if we came together more as a community like it used to be back in the day, like when you walk down the street, everybody knows each other. I think we would be in a much better place with our kids. These types of things wouldn't be able to happen so easily. You know what I'm saying? And right now, what I'm feeling like is what's happening is the community has detached to a point where we don't even care what's happening. If it's not happening in our household, nobody cares. If it's not happening to your kid, no one cares, right? And that's sad because we should give a care. We should care whether it's our child or not. If it's a child, if it's a human being that's being harmed, we should care. Somebody does not want me to talk right now because my throat is very scratchy all of a sudden. And I don't feel sick at all. All right. Um, all right. Mm, I'm picking up some heavy pregnant energy. Heavy pregnant energy. I really do believe that Naziah was pregnant when she disappeared. Whatever was done to her, she was pregnant. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Somebody needs to talk. Communication. That's all they need is for somebody to open their mouth and speak on what happened to this girl. Period. Period. They just need to speak on what happened to her. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. Yeah, a personal issue is going to reach resolution once they open their mouths and speak on it. Speak on what happened to her. We need to know. We need to know exactly what happened. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. So that tells me that they found some new information, right? I think they probably found some new information. I feel like they're gonna get him. Like he's gonna go down. I don't really, I'm not really worried about the guy going down for what happened to her. What my concern is, what actually happened to her. That's what my concern is. What actually happened? Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. And I have been praying on this and I meditated on it. I'm going to keep meditating on this. This is not going to be my last reading on this, guys. I'm going to read on this again. I'm going to really zone in and tap into this energy because it's heavy. And I feel like I need to do something about this. I feel like I need to do my part and trying to make sure that all of the information, whatever information that's out there, comes to light. Whoever's involved needs to open up, snap out of it. Okay, sit back and pray on it. You gonna have to pay for it eventually anyway, so you can't dodge that bullet. You might as well go ahead and tap in now. Ask God for forgiveness and go ahead and do what you need to do. Tell the people that you need to talk to what happened to that girl and let the justice be served for her. Naziah deserves that. She was a child. Even if she's still alive, she's not a child anymore. She's been through hell. If she's still alive, she's been through hell. The girl that we're talking about is no longer with us. If she's still breathing, she's a whole different person now. Trust me, she's been through a lot if she's still with us. Because these situations don't end in a nice way. Okay? A new start is coming, new moon. So I feel like they found out some new information yesterday. Because the new moon came out 1, 2, 3, 4 times. They found out some new information yesterday. This live is on the 30th for anybody that's going to be watching it after I post it. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. So that's what his problem is. His past is what put him in this situation. The accused, he's in his South Node because he never got help for his demons. He got a sexual demon attached to him. And that's what made him do this to her. But it's too late for him. Take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. So basically, I got the feeling that, you see that wooded area there? I feel like he found a native burial ground or some native land close to Michigan. That's where they're gonna find her. That's what I'm feeling like. That's the energy that I'm getting from these cards. And new moon is coming out again. It says a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo, right? So what I'm giving is my time to try to help bring light to this situation for Naziah, right? Keep people thinking about it. Keep it fresh in everybody's mind, right? So they can think about anything that they might remember from last year around that time, you know what I'm saying? If they were around, anywhere around. They said it happened around 3 Mile and Warren in Detroit. I'm not real familiar with that area. Haven't been back home in a really long time. And here's another new moon. A new cycle, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So I feel like in this romantic thing, that it's not really romantic. It's a sick thing because he had some type of romantic thing with her, but she was a child. She was a child, okay? And a commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So basically what needs to happen is the justice system needs to not only bring justice with having him in jail and brought to justice for what he physically did to her, but justice needs to be brought to her by figuring out exactly what happened to her and getting her body if she's no longer with us. Because I have a real heavy-hearted feeling that she is no longer with us. And oh man, I'm sorry, it hurts my heart because you have to go through enough in life. It's hard enough navigating through life without somebody intentionally harming you, you know, taking your innocence and not just taking your innocence, but then in the end, taking the most precious part, which is your life, you know, unaliving you. And for what? To cover up the sickness inside of you? The sickness isn't going to go away, right? Heal yourself. Don't go out here hurting people, right? That's basically what's happening. And look at this. I cut the cards. Two of Pentacles and the Devil. And this is the ugliest of devils. This devil has woman's breast with a penis, with a stomach that looks pregnant. It's smoking a cigarette. It's got people fornicating beneath him, drinking. Everybody's all locked up. It's just the most ugly display that you could think of, right? You see that? Just disgusting, right? That's the energy that this guy Jarvis is giving. You know, he's got a demon attached to him, and that's what made him do what he did to this girl. Seven of Wands. I feel like she fought. I feel like she fought really hard. And when they find her, if they find her body, they're going to find all kind of evidence under her fingernails, maybe even in her mouth, up inside of her. And that baby, if it's still in her, the DNA will tell you exactly who put it there. But yeah, you're going to find all kind of evidence because she fought the hermit, and she was a loner. She was a loner. Because of what she was going through, she probably felt there was nobody she could ever talk to. Yeah. And she probably tried to take herself out a couple times. She didn't see how this was ever going to end, you know. But I feel like she's in a better place now. She's with God now. God got her. She gonna be all right. But I really do feel like, you know, she deserves that peace. You know, we need to fight for justice for her. And find her body. And make sure everyone that was involved in Nazia's disappearance comes to justice. Everyone. No matter who it is. That sorry, not sorry card that popped up, I'm not sorry. And it's not for me to judge. Okay? But we are not here to hurt each other. It's not what we're brought here to do. We're all brought here to learn a lesson and love on each other. I don't know, bad things happen, and there are lessons that we're supposed to learn, and sometimes it's the ugliest of lessons, you know? But for her, I think the blessing was being able to go home. In the protection that came that took her home, that was the blessing. Because who wants to live after what she went through? If the girl is still alive, it's going to be a rough life for her. If she is still with us, I pray that she is okay, but I highly doubt it. With the circumstances and the evidence that they have right now, I highly doubt it. King of Cups, King of Swords. Yeah. With all them fish flying around, the king of that cup is nasty. That's a fishy cup. Don't nobody want that cup. And that's what that guy had, a fishy cup. But she didn't know no better. She was a child. He knew that, and he played on her innocence. He knew exactly what he was doing. But the King of Swords, the protector of all, stopped it. I truly believe she's gone. I just hope and pray that, I just hope and pray that God heals the accused. Heal his mind so he can tell the truth and take them to her body so she can be at rest, so she can be at peace, so she can have true solace in this world, God. God, look out for her family. Anyone that still loved that girl, look out for them. And anybody that was involved in her demise or her unaliving or anything that happened to her, please let them pay for what they did. Heal them, but let them pay for what they did to that little earth angel, because she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve to be hurt like that. I pray for the healing of everybody that needs to be healed, and for your swift justice for all those that were involved. You guys, I'm not going to keep you guys here. The world card. Yeah, justice is going to be served for Nazaria Harris. But somebody's world is going to be rocked upside down before that justice happens. A lot of people's world is going to be rocked upside down as a result of what they did to her. And I truly believe that they are going to find her body. I truly believe it. I truly believe the hanged man. Her body's going to be found. God's going to heal his mind. And he's going to have a paradigm shift. And he's going to want to lead them to her body so she can have some type of closure, you know? Even if it comes in the form of some type of lesser deal where they don't take his life. Because I don't think he deserves to die. I think he deserves to live. Deal with that. Deal with the vision of what you did to her for the rest of your life. That's what you deserve. The tower. Yeah. His tower moment has not ended, and it won't end until he lets the family have some sort of peace over what he did to that young girl. So until he reveals where her body is and brings the family peace, he will never see peace himself. That is my reading. He will never see peace until he reveals where her body is. He better tell the authorities where her body is. Otherwise, God is going to beat him down forever. He might find some solace and some forgiveness if he divulges where her body is. See if there's any messages here. Sometimes the universe deck will have a random message that will, okay. You are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. You have been praying for things to heal. Now new opportunities to appear, relationships to improve, and these prayers will be answered soon. So you know what that tells me? The prayer that I've been asking for since yesterday was for her to be found. If she is no longer with us, if she has been unalived, may Nazaria Harris's body be found. Hopefully this happens soon. Extremely soon. That's what that tells me. That's what that tells me. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this reading up. I needed to go ahead and do this because I feel like more attention needs to be brought to this case so that people can remember her. You know, remember Naziah Harris and think about January of 2024, okay? And think about where you were around that time, right? January 9th, I believe. After she got out of school, nobody saw her again after she got off that school bus. Somebody saw her and somebody knows exactly what happened to her. So whoever that is, whoever saw what happened, speak up. Just open your mouth and speak up. Let's be a community again. Okay, guys? Let's love again. Let's protect these children. When you see something like this happening, when you see somebody snatching a child, help them, save them, stop this from happening. If I see somebody grabbing a kid, I'm going to intervene. That's me. I hope you do the same. Because these kids deserve our protection. We should protect them, not just watch it happen and then act like we didn't see nothing. I mean, how can you sleep at night if you know what happened and you just don't say anything? If you saw something, say something. Forget that no snitching crap. Oh, stop it. It's not snitching to tell what actually happened in a situation. Snitching is when you tell on somebody else so you don't have to pay for what you did. That's snitching, right? Telling what actually happened to someone to save their life, that's not snitching. That's telling the truth. So do it. Let's be a community again. Let's stop this game of protecting the predators. Okay? Let's protect the victims. Let's protect the could-be survivors if we protect them, right? So let's protect each other. Let's love on each other. Let's do everything we can to help each other, to protect each other, protect our children. Just because it's not your child don't mean you can't protect them if you see something happening, right? Because you want somebody to protect your baby when you're not around, right? So do it. Protect the baby no matter whose it is. Don't matter if it's not the same color as you. Who cares? That child deserves to be loved. That's a child of God. No matter what they look like on the outside, they bleed the same color, okay? We all came from God. So let's protect these babies. Let's all do our part to protect the babies and each other. Let's love on each other. Let's love on each other, guys. Be the change that you want to see in others. That's where I'm coming from today. I wanted to start my day with love and light. I want to give a shout out to my niecey Pooh Cretia. I love you, baby. Thank you for bringing things to my attention. Thank you for bringing this to my attention because I had no idea. Everybody, go out there and love and protect your family. Go give your babies a big old kiss. Give your mate a big old kiss. Tell them you love them. Show them you love them. Because tomorrow is not promised. 5 minutes from now is not promised. Okay? Let's love on each other while we have the chance to. Okay? Justice for Naziah Harris. If anybody knows anything, please speak up. All you got to do is look it up. Look up the surviving family of Naziah Harris, okay? If you know something, say something. Call Detroit police and tell them if you know something. If you know anything, let them know. Tell them. Help them out, okay? We need that girl's body to be found so she can be laid to rest the way she deserves to be laid to rest. All right? Love and light to everybody. All right? If anybody wants to support my channel, that information is in my description. Anybody wants a personal reading, that information is in my description. But I want all of you to think about this. Love on yourself and your family. Don't forget to do that. And pray. Get right with God while we can, because it's getting so ugly out here. I can't believe it's not the end of days. Love on yourselves. Justice for Naziah Harris.